Welcome to the Commercial Kitchen Chronicles, the original food service equipment repair podcast built by technicians for technicians. Whether you're on the front lines of repair, keeping the kitchen running smoothly, or just passionate about the food service repair industry, this podcast is your go-to source for expert insight, tech tips, and real stories from the field. Everything said on the Commercial Kitchen Chronicles comes straight from the hosts and guests and does not represent the views of their employers, companies, or partners. We're here to share real stories, real experiences, and real opinions. Take it as insight, not as official policy. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Commercial Kitchen Chronicles. I am joined by co-host Rich Ortega. I've got Michael Hess on. We got Darin Branch, and we're going to talk about business stuff. But first, I got to get down to business. I got some bills to pay. I got some companies that really help out and make this stuff possible. From social media and some other stuff. And I want to talk about Ambro Controls. They came out with some new stuff for their nitrogen lineup. They got a flow control now. They've got a little gun so you can blow out some drain lines, flush some stuff out. So when you're working with nitrogen, you want the gear that just makes sense. Ambro Controls has expanded their nitrogen purge kit by adding a blowout gun, a flow regulator to go with their extended refillable cylinder adapters. What's the best news? It's all at no extra cost. The more gear is in the kit for the same price. Whether you're flowing nitrogen during brazing, flushing drain lines, or pressure testing small systems, you've got everything you need in one kit. It's available in the 200, 400, or 870 PSI options. Ask for it at your local supplier and check out what's new from Ambro Controls. Thank you, Ambro Controls, the team over there. They got some pretty cool tools. Pretty small, light tools. So you can carry on big torches. They have a small option that will get the job done for you. So what is going on, fellas?
875 PSI. God damn, you better not be on the end of that drain line.
Well, some of these mini splits, man, I think they want you pressure tests like 600 PSI now. Some of them do. So it's pretty wild, but it is what it is. So yeah, 800. Well, I had one of the tanks. I had it cranked all the way up and it was leaking by. And I was like, what's going on? And those little tanks are pretty powerful, man. It is what it is. So I can't complain about it. So Rich is like, he looks tired. He looks wore out. He looks defeated. He looks like he wants to go to sleep.
I remember those days.
I'm not defeated, but yeah, I'm exhausted. I've been fighting a migraine the whole day, trying to do too much. On the bright side, apparently I'm doing good as a boss from what I heard. And I don't think the employee was trying to suck up. So
was it Ray? Because he posted some truck. No, he was trying to like fish for a raise or something.
No, it wasn't Ray. Ray will talk crap to me all day. Mike knows Ray. Ray will talk crap.
So we have got a couple special guests here. Darin Branch is the founder of Whitewood Tax Solutions, and he's buddies with Hess here. If you guys don't know Hess, he's a pretty cool dude. I've met him through Zafessa. Hung out with him several times. We hung out poolside last October in Arizona when it was like 95 degrees. We had some fun. Went to casino for a little bit. I felt kind of out of place running around him and Pat Duffy, though. I told my wife, I was like, we're going to get in trouble with these guys. We are not in their tax bracket. So it's always good to see Michael. He's done a lot of cool stuff in the industry. He does a lot of cool stuff outside the industry. We may get into that a little bit, but thanks for coming on, guys. I know you want to talk about business, some tax stuff. But first, let's give a little bit of background. Let's start with you, Michael. You can give a brief or as detailed as you want. The stage is yours. Tell your story, man.
So, I appreciate it. I know we've talked a lot about trying to make this happen. Man, country boy, grew up far east of Virginia. My mom was 14 when she got pregnant, 15 when she had me. Barefoot in the trailer park, baby. I didn't live in my first stick-built house till I was 15. Started as far as the industry, started toting tools when I was 14, coming through the summer of my sophomore year, playing football, work an 8-hour day, go home, slam some food, off to the weight room. I'd be curious to know how many 14-year-old kids today work 40-hour weeks.
Very few. There's a few out there, but not a whole lot.
But yeah, man, just started out doing HVAC, residential HVAC, making ductwork, 10 knocking, and just kept rolling through there. through the residential HVAC into commercial installations into service. Our brains are programmed to kind of fear the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So as I really developed through the residential side, guys were like, well, man, you need to get into commercial. Like it'll be so much better. And nah, stay away. Got into commercial, said, I hope I never do residential again. It was, you go from residential, you go to commercial HVAC, then it's, man, you need to learn refrigeration. You need to learn refrigeration. No. You get into refrigeration, I don't care about HVAC. Now, hot side, nobody ever says, when I learn hot side, I don't ever want to do the rest. Hot side is just you got to do it because that's what needs to be done. But the one great thing about that, especially in the restaurant industry, it's when you bring all of the services to the table, you separate yourself. I remember one of our main points back in the day, pre Google, was you could open the phone book and find whatever 200 HVAC contractors. Okay. But when you look at those 200 HVAC contractors, how many of them do refrigeration? Well, now you just cut it down to 20.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So out of those 20 that are left, how many do kitchen equipment service? Okay. Now you're at 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you can offer that service, if you can offer a one-stop shop to your customers, they're going to call anybody else. It's easier to just call one office, one phone number. They're paying one bill. You know what I mean? It's getting people out there. A lot of people sleep on that. I mean, some people just do hot side, some people just do refrigeration, and I want to do it all. I get bored. I like doing it all. So, I mean, I pretty much don't turn anything down.
You got to fill me in. What's the hot side? Y'all keep talking. Everybody listening probably knows, but I just want a quick rundown. What's the hot side?
Cooking equipment. So ovens, fryers, grills, anything they cook the food on that makes it hot. That's what we call the hot side. Toasters.
It makes total sense. I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty wide industry. Yeah.
So so by the time, I don't know, probably the early 2000s, somewhere in the early 2000s, I was doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of went from there into operations, into sales, built a couple successful markets, had a company separation with November of 2016. And at that point, I had built a couple $1 million markets for 2 different companies. And it was, basically customers were, look, Michael, our relationship is with you. We don't care what name is on the shirt. You go to another company, we're coming with you. You want to go out on your own, we're coming with you. So I said, okay. I went live January 1 of 2017 with me and a pickup truck and about $10,000 in the bank. And pretty much all of those customers that said that came with me. It was a rocket ship from the beginning. I started out servicing just Central Virginia, quickly moved down to Coastal Virginia, growing faster than I could maintain. One of the biggest challenges during this time was my drug and alcohol problem was so prevalent. What I later learned was I wasn't running the business was running me. And obviously the drugs and the alcohol were the main proponent or the main component in that recipe, but I didn't have a pulse on what was happening on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of having policies and procedures and things that needed to create levels of accountability, when things weren't getting done, I was throwing people at the problem instead of identifying what the actual problem was. So we're rolling through 2017. I think by the end of 2017, we probably had 8 trucks on the road. We pushed into the Raleigh-Durham triangle going into 2018. But at this point, I am an internal dumpster fire. I'm in a marriage that bled toxicity, drinking like a fish every day, doing coke probably at least 3 or 4 times, smoking crack 3-4 days a week, blowing it out on the weekends. And obviously that just continued to spiral and snowball into April of 2018. I basically injected myself. I was in my own den of hell. I was smoking about a half ounce of crack a day, 7 days a week. Had no idea what was going on with the business. Could care less. I'd poke my head up every once in a while just to kind of see what was going on. But as long as there was, money in the bank for me to hit the ATM, I figured it was rolling. So I went through that phase of battling my demons for about 7 months. And throughout that period, I really came to grips, not only to understand what had gotten me to that point and what I was battling inside with my own regret and my own disappointments and everything that the voices in your head tell you are wrong about your life. Mm-hmm. And really came to understand that voice is pretty much a damn liar, and learn how to accept that and what Jesus' death on the cross really meant for us, for forgiveness and redemption and being able to start over, and inevitably coming down to, like, we have the choice. Mm-hmm. Right? It's not, you can blame whoever you want for whatever vice you have. At the end of the day, it's your choice. So I walked out of there November 3rd, 2018, been clean and sober ever since. Obviously, since, at that day, there wasn't a customer left. There wasn't an employee left. There wasn't a dollar left. I was done. Mm-hmm. Took some time, recovered, took a quick little journey down a path that I never in a million years would have thought of. We launched a coffee shop on my own. And just one day out of the blue, I had never turned off the toll-free number for 123. And I just got a call. I was like, hey, man, I got your number from such and such. Can you work on blah, blah, blah? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, no problem. So just like that, it just started randomly picking up. Related to, kind of 2019, started picking up. I had just me and a helper. A little bit of back history on that too. I am a convicted felon. I've been to jail more times than I can count. So if you don't believe that God has a sense of humor, I was working in Department of Corrections penitentiaries probably 3 to 4 days a week in 2019. So it's a pretty uncommon feeling to be in there, to be able to raise your hand and they just open the door for you and walk out. Like, it never worked when I was in there. So, we're rolling through 2019, just me and a helper. Things are great. I'm loving it. Working 3 or 4 days a week, getting my feet under me. Really in the emphases of learning what it looked like to be sober and what it looked like to function in the world with a clear mind and an understanding of what life should look like and what the expectation should be, and holding myself to a much higher level state of accountability. And so we kind of cruised into 2020, had some relationships that were starting to rekindle. Obviously, my trust and dependability was still very much in question. Mm-hmm. Finally, in March 2020, we said, okay, let's pour some gasoline on it, and off we went. And so I think 2020, we ended up at about 1.1 million. 2021, we went to 2.25.
Dang.
2022, we pushed it to 4.5. And then I think when we inked in December of 23, we were pushing 7.
That's a pretty quick turnaround there.
Yeah, it is.
So a lot of people led to the success of that, but as a dude, I graduated high school with a 1.8 GPA. I took AP Calculus, AP Physics, made A's, never took a book home. Failed English, was taking 11th grade and 12th grade English my senior year. I am still convinced I graduated high school because they did not want to let me come back.
I barely made it out myself. I know that feeling, man. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't sit there anymore.
So I knew nothing. I didn't know anything about building. I had built multi-million-dollar markets, but I didn't know anything about back end. I didn't know anything about P&Ls. I didn't know anything about chart of accounts. I didn't know anything about workman's comp. I didn't know anything about health. And, I knew what they were, but I didn't know how to orchestrate them.
He's like, I know how to fix stuff. I don't know all this other crap.
That's right. And I listen, that rocket ship was built, I don't want to say with zero business mentality, but it was built from the vision of the driver's seat of a service truck.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm sorry, go ahead, Finley.
Oh, so how did you figure that out? Just knowing people or just hoping for the best?
There's definitely some trial and error there, Obviously, I understood margins. I understand where we needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But how many people in this industry answer my business is profitable because there's money in the bank?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just because, again, our industry is not filled a lot of the successful guys with college graduates or business managers, or there are guys that were really freaking good with D's and good with relationships and good with the customer and good with diagnosing and had 4 or 5 guys that would go with them, and they just hit the grind. And then there's guys that I know that have been doing it 15 years that don't own their house, are still in debt. Like, what do you have to show for the 8, 10, 12, 15 years of hard work and service that you've put into the grind? Nothing. And you know why? Because you never took the time or asked for help or dropped the humble pie to let somebody tell you how to be successful. And one of the greatest things, again, with what I went through with the hell, was understanding that I don't know it all. I can't do it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
But you also want to have trusted counsel to talk to about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to go talk to somebody for advice just because they're bright lights, big city, but on the back end, they're $250,000 in debt, and their business operates in the red every year.
Yeah, it's amazing how many people online put off the show that they can do this, and that, and then on the back end they have no idea what they're doing, and it's just they're losing money. They're broke. They don't have anything to show for it. I mean, people always ask me, like, you can start your own business. You'd probably be all right. You'd probably do good. And I'm like, man, I don't know the first thing about owning a business. I know a little bit just because I know a lot of people. I said, but I don't want to chase money. I was like, I don't want to do this, and this. I don't, it's just, there's a lot of things that guys don't think about when it goes into it. If you're a one-man show and you've got a great customer base, well, you go on vacation for 9-10 days and your customers have stuff that's broke, they're calling somebody else. You just let someone else get their foot in the door of your customer. Then what do you do? I'm like, there's a lot of things people don't think about. I mean, Rich has been in business for 2 years for himself. He's doing pretty good. He's got, how many techs you got on the road right now? Counting you?
Counting me, we got 5.
So 5 techs on the road. He's looking for a 6th. He's got, a couple people in the office. He's starting to do things. But, I've known Rich for a couple of years, and he's investing back into the company. He's trying to grow. He doesn't do anything dumbly. He's got people he's talked to. He's friends with a lot of great people in the industry that, have built things or have taken things over even with the family. And you got to be able to surround yourself with people that know what to do and know what's going on. So,
well, and that's where, unfortunately, I wish God loved Darin. He saved me a lot of damn money on my purchase. Okay.
That's what I was going to ask, how Darin got into this.
Darin saved me a lot.
There's lots of people in the world that you need. You need a lot of people. Like, I don't know what hot side was, and I can't probably hang a picture straight, but I can definitely help you on the other side of things. So that's where we got in. But I'll let you finish, Mike. Go ahead.
Well, and that's so. I wish I definitely wish I would have had him, sooner, because everybody thinks, oh, you got to have an accountant. Okay, got to have an accountant. I mean this with no disrespect towards an accountant. They all have value at what they do. But most accountants' job is not to show you how to save money or how to be a better spender or how to pay less taxes. They take line A from what you put in QuickBooks and put it right here. They take line B and move it to here. That's it. All they're doing is extracting the data that you give them, filling in the boxes, and telling you, here's your number, okay? Darin's team tells you, no, you can go lower on block A. Oh, no, we can add 3 sub-accounts on your G&L and reclassify all this stuff, and now your taxes look like this. Those are the type of partners that you need to have a high-end, super profitable business.
You got to have people that know the business, but also know, not the business, but know the business side. But you also got to have people that can relate to you and feel and understand coming from nothing. Like, so we came from nothing, or I came from nothing, and pretty much the similar story as Mike, just different sides of the drug game. So as a teenager, I was selling more than I wasn't using it all. And then, they watched me till I was 18, 19 years old. And then they knocked on the door and said, we're coming to get you. And so I ended up in an appeal, ended up supposed to do 8 years and ended up with an appeal at 1 and came back to reality, and, after 13 months. And I'll say it, since we're here on a podcast, it's a crazy thing. Mike talks about God and different things, but I found the Bible in jail, which someone sounds so, I can just laugh saying it almost, because everybody says everybody gets saved in jail, right? But I read the Bible and found some things and prayed and just wanted this appeal. And my father, who I know him, had been around, but I lived with him 1 or 2 years growing up, and he showed up to speak on my behalf at the appeal in Virginia. And literally the judge handling my appeal went to high school with him in Spring, Texas. So needless to say, I won my appeal. They gave me a 6-month program after that. Ended up doing like 13 months in prison versus 8 years. Little program, came home, didn't know what I was going to do, started washing cars, doing different things, got a job, doing some tax stuff, selling tax resolution services for a company who really wasn't doing what they said that they were going to do. We just sold it for a little while, and they said they were going to change different things. I quit. I got fired once, quit twice, I think. And then they went bankrupt, and I still knew people, just kind of like Mike. And I knew that these people didn't get help. So I started calling them, trying to reach out to them. And it's funny because I was ready to punching holes in the wall, ready to give it back up. Like, I just got to go back to work in the car business, I guess. And the Comcast guy knocks on my door and said I took his last money and he needs to fix his tax problem. I left his paycheck. I said, first of all, I'll never knock on my door at 10 o'clock at night. But how'd you find me? He said, you're a Comcast cable customer. I looked you up, and I said, okay, great. We'll talk tomorrow. And so we talked, and I helped him for free. And I got his levy release, set him up. We settled his tax debt. And that's when I said, well, shit, guys, I can do this on my own. And I said, I'm already broke, and credit cards run up. And, we've already had a business with Mary. My wife had a business that was doing okay. So it was taking care of the bills, but I wasn't doing my part. How that feels as a man. So I just started a business, and it just, God blessed, and it just took off. And I could be a lot larger, but the reality is I don't really want to be. We started growing at one point, and then I scaled back down, which sounds crazy, but I did, because I really like to help people who have similar backgrounds. So the people that I like to help with started with nothing or started really small. I've got several clients in not commercial kitchen, but just construction in general, whether it be HVAC, whether it be, I think I got a couple of drywall guys. The drywall guy is the one I like the most. He got fired, started his own business similar to Mike, and now he's doing $2 or $3 million a year. I helped him when he was $100 a month. Now he's paying me, and this is going to sound crazy, now he pays me 50, 60 grand a year happily. He doesn't even know what he pays me probably, because we're saving this man $200,000, $300,000 a year in taxes from because he did. I helped him when he was little, and then he got too big for me, right? He outgrew me and ended up going somewhere else for 2 years, and then came back to me and said, help me. So what do you mean help me? So I got all these taxes I owe and I can't pay. Very similar to what happened with Hess there is I looked at his stuff and I said, here, man, this is all wrong. You could classify this, this, and this, and helped him. Now he's a client, has referred clients, and that's pretty much how I met Hess. Was his, I'm just going to tell it, I guess, that's the CPA he had, filled out his taxes, and it's a 7-figure mistake there. Oh. And I said, and he looked at me and I said, well, look, man, I'm going to be honest with you because I know this sounds crazy. So I'm just going to fix it, send it over, and you can pay me this amount once we're done. Typically, you would pay me over monthly payments, but I'm just going to wait because I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And I fixed it and saved them. And we've been buddies ever since. And we both have a passion for helping small business owners. His passion, obviously, is this industry. I don't care what industry you're in. You could be a hairdresser for all I care. I just like to help somebody who feels like that they can't do anything grow, not by helping them with their business, because I don't know how to do anything except numbers and negotiate with the IRS, because I've been doing it on my own since 2011. And seeing a lot of contractors, a lot of guys that have the ability to go, like even yourself, Pat. I mean, you said you don't want to deal with business, you don't want to do that. And I mean, but if the company you're working for goes out of business, right, and you're stuck and have no choice, just the people in this room, it sounds like, could help you.
No, 100%.
Rich has his problem. He's doing his job. I know the numbers. I can help you with that. Hess knows policies and procedures. All of that can be put together if you have the right team. And so I'm pretty passionate about helping people in the trades, helping people with, whatever they do. I don't care. I want to take you from a small business to a large business. And whatever that means at the end of that is up to you. So when people exit, there's a lot of money left on the table that people don't realize. But really the thing, like yourself, Rich, you say you're in, got 4 or 5 techs, and then yourself, as you're growing, and I won't put you on the spot and say, do you know your numbers? But I mean, do you? That's the question. If you're still in a truck, you might not. And people will tell you from a business standpoint, where you can't be in a truck. I'm not telling you not to be in a truck by any means. I'm telling you, spend the money you would spend to hire that next tech, to hire someone like us to help you structure everything properly. Because you should have an asset company that leases things back to you. You should have a holding company that holds any of your, like if you have real estate or you own your shop or something. If you don't, and that's a goal, why wait until you have it to set it up? Set it up and have it. It costs you very little to maintain the different structures. Just like people say, well, I'm a Schedule C and I'm paying self-employment tax. I'm not big enough. Says who? I mean, stop paying self-employment tax. Put yourself on a salary that's reasonable, that someone like myself can defend if audited, and save 15, 20 grand a year in taxes. That way you can take that money and reinvest it into the business and hire that extra employee or buy that extra truck or do whatever you need to do. Those are the things I think a lot of people don't realize. And I think that's what Hess was saying before, is most CPAs just go, okay, Rich, okay, Pat, here's what you got. Here's your books. Oh, let me see your P&L. Here's your tax return. You owe $143,000. Do you want me to set up a payment plan for you? And they just leave you there.
That's the normal accounting way, the easiest way, and just get it through. And like, this is what you gave me. This is what you got to do. I mean, it is what it is. It seems like you're looking at it from a different perspective, different window, and trying to figure out the best way to save your clients money and to make yourself a little money in the process, which ain't nothing wrong with that, man. I can support that 100%.
Well, and the thing is, look, the thing about it is he can show you on paper before you ever even start how you're not only going to save what you're going to pay him, but then on top of that.
And that's the big thing about, I don't know if you guys, I mean, I don't know if some of the listeners might have seen it. I mean, everybody's seen it. You've heard like, oh, if you owe $10,000 or more in taxes, that's the industry I came from. That industry charges people $500 to $2,500 to give them a due diligence package. The difference between me, and I truly believe that that's what's made me different and introduced me to people that I probably never would have been introduced to, is because we do it for free. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we market, we have salespeople, but they pick up the phone and they call you and you tell them your problem, and we say, great, let me pull your transcripts, let me put a plan together. We call it a roadmap to resolution. And they're like, well, how much is it? It's nothing. Well, what's the catch? Nothing. The catch is, if I can help you, you're going to hire me, and I'm going to get a fee, and I'm not I'm not dirt cheap. You're not going to pay me $50 to fix a, $50,000 problem, but I'm going to be able to show you exactly what you've got going on. So what I did with that industry, which we still do, and myself personally, I help more, I call them private clients. So I help more with business owners now than I do the resolution side, but we do the same thing on that end. And most CPAs or tax strategists, they do the exact same thing that on the other end, they charge you $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 to show you how they can save you. I don't want to save you. I want to help you, and I want to hold your hand all the way through it. So here's how I can save you. Here's what we can do, and here's what it costs. I'll be honest, 95% of the people say yes. I mean, if they sign that form and do a roadmap, they say yes because I can show them. The other 5%, I tell them it doesn't make sense right now. Here's what you should do. Come see me in a year. My guys will do your tax returns for you. Come see me next year. Keep growing. Let me introduce you to Hess. Maybe he can help you put some stuff in place. He's got some people that can help you do other things, or whoever it is that I'm introducing them, so they can grow their business so that they can get to a place where they do need me. So I think a lot of small time, just now starting out guys, especially with trades, you're really good with your hands. Like you said, Pat, I don't know the business. I don't know. Don't be afraid of that. And don't be afraid to ask people. You'll get some jerks that'll tell you, it'll cost you $5,000. Okay, thanks. Bye. And just keep calling until you find somebody else. And eventually somebody will help you, show you, even if you're not ready to hire them yet, we'll show you some things and give you some insight that'll help you grow. And then when you come back, just remember that person, So, I think the whole story behind it all is just making sure you have the right people in place and the right team. And I think don't get so stuck on that team just being people inside of your business that can produce money for you. So Rich, you may hire me at $25,000 a year and I may save you $75,000. So really, you don't need another point. Saving $75,000 or $50,000, let's just say after my fee, saving you $50,000, it gives you money to hire another employee.
That's another van.
It's guaranteed with another van that's got you that's an actual tax savings money you're used to spending. You're no longer spending. That's better than cash being generated, because every dollar you generate, you've got, supplies, you've got that something's allocated to that. So you might be keeping 30, 40 cents of that. With a true savings and restructuring, you're saving every dollar that can be reinvested into your business or into yourself. Even guys,
and it's not one time. Like it's once you get the G&Ls, once you get the chart of account and get everything structured, like that is just a repetitive savings year after year after year after year. So, and again, it kind of boils down to what we talked about before. Like you've got your team, but you also need trusted partners, and you got to have trusted counsel. You got to have 2 or 3 people that if you're in a closet in a dark room and you close the door and you can't see anything, you talk to that dark space. That's what you tell those 3 people. No holds barred. And you have to have that, because you can't figure it out on your own. And that trusted counsel needs to be, they don't even need to be industry driven. You definitely want them successful. You definitely want them in the same spiritual place that you are. Because if you're not being driven by that spirit that's inside of you, and that's not the first person that you're going to for counsel, someone that's not on that path is not going to give you the best counsel for you.
Even if you don't want to hear it. Because, you're right with that, Hess, because, I've been with Hess for a couple of years, but when I had something going on with my son, and literally just the first person that came to my mind, I had to call him and tell him, sorry, man, I know I shouldn't ask the client this, but can I just help? Can you help me with this? I don't know what to do. My son got himself blah, blah, blah. And he helped me. He didn't tell me exactly what I wanted to hear, but he told me what I needed to hear and what I needed to do. But it's true, because he was the first person. You think about it. Well, how? I got hundreds of clients, and private clients. I've got 20 or 30 that I consider to be pretty trusted counsel that can help me with anything. But I don't know where there's, where they are in the sense of spirituality or with God. And I know that that's very big in his faith. And he was the first person that I picked up the phone and called to. And I felt terrible, man. I think I picked it up 2 or 3 times before I actually called. But I was like, I don't know who else to call. Who am I going to call that's going to, give me some advice that's not going to be like, oh, whip his ass, just, which he kind of said that. But in a different manner. I mean, he didn't tell me, like I said, exactly, but he gave me some advice that was more sound than what I think my other guys would have done, especially at that hour of the night. I know a couple of my clients would have been, 13, 14 drinks in and been like, here's what you do, that little song, but and he didn't do that. And I mean, when you feel that connection with someone that's just as successful or has been as successful, he's retired now on the beach somewhere, but he's still helping people, by the way, guys. But
don't let him lie.
But he's out there with the Bahamas or where? No, he's back from there. But
he's Southwest Florida somewhere.
I leave for Costa Rica Saturday.
See, there you go. But I mean, but life is good. Look, hey, he helps a lot of people, and I mean, it's definitely something you got to have. I mean, you got to have successful people in your corner, and you got to stop listening to people that don't go with your heart. I guess the biggest message for everybody that's listening and everything, I can tell you all the tax breaks of the world, but if you want to start your own business and you're in this industry, go follow it. I mean, follow your heart. I mean, and talk to people. Don't just jump off the cliff and say, I'm going to quit tomorrow. But I mean, literally start talking to people and figure out what it is that you need to do to get things done. There are people out there, myself, Hess, there's other people everywhere that are successful at building businesses and developing things that will help you, at least give you that good advice that you need. And I mean, follow your heart, say a prayer. If you don't believe in God now, promise you, maybe just go for it, and you got to believe in something. Believe in yourself. God will show up to you once you believe in yourself, I think. So believe in yourself, take a jump, and do what's best for you and your family, and stop holding back, wondering could I or should I.
Yeah, and it's okay. And look, it's okay to be scared.
Mm-hmm.
There should be some rock in your gut, all right? But you do it anyway. Fear has created more failure than action ever will.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
And I mean, honestly, look, guys, y'all are the first. Pat, you're the first podcast, or first anything on social media or anything that's live that I've actually said that I've been to prison and I'm a felon.
Yeah.
Like, I deal with people's taxes, but I mean, I was 18, 19 years old. I deal with people's money, but I have enough clients and enough successful people that trust me that it doesn't matter anymore. But I've been scared to death. And Hess has told me since I met him, shit, tell the world. I'm like, dude, I'm not telling the world. Are you crazy? But then I did. And I mean, I just started a nonprofit that I haven't done anything with. It was called Felon the Founder. That's another way me and Hess have connected, is I want to help those people, specifically people that, were drug dealers in my mind or business minded. Maybe, I mean, whoever, convicted felons that are young. I mean, some guys can't help. Okay. If who they are when you meet them, but for the guys who get in trouble at a young age and they need something, I mean, those are folks that are dear to my heart that I want to help grow into something. And Hess has something similar, with this industry. So, I mean, glad it's a podcast, because I don't really know where I was going with that, but it's just
listen to this model. Listen to this model. Just like Shark Tank, you got 4 or 5 investors here where convicted felons can literally pitch their idea, because there's a lot of smart drug addicts, a lot of smart drug addicts and alcoholics and people out there that need a second chance, and I don't want to say second because all of us burnt our second chance up real early, that deserve another chance.
Yeah.
So imagine having a panel of investors that have you got a tax guy, you got an operator, you got a controller, you've got people that can connect you and provide you with the resources that'll change your life.
Mm-hmm.
They just need the opportunity.
It's amazing. I've been doing this for a few years now. We've had some people on, just did the same thing, man. They got tied up in drugs when they were younger. They went to prison, and they came out and no one would give them a chance. And finally someone gave them a chance, and they worked their ass off to prove, that they were worth it. And they went out and started their business this year. And it's cool to see people turn their lives around. Your life's not over because you made some bad decisions. Your life's over if you go back to those bad decisions. You gotta say, enough of this shit. I want to do this right. I want to do the right thing. I gotta get away from the situation. If you can do that, turn it around, dude, I'll help anybody out, man.
Yeah. You're gonna make decisions. You're gonna make bad decisions. I made a lot of bad decisions in the business when I first started.
I still do every day.
I was bringing in more money than I knew what I was doing, and I was spending more money. I had billboards everywhere. I had all this stuff everywhere, and my wife said one day, "We don't have any money." I said, "We don't have any money. We're making millions of dollars." She's like, "We don't have any money." like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me look. And I'm like, well, for first off, I'm spending $300,000 a year on billboards. Why am I doing that? I don't understand. She's like, why are you doing that? I said, I don't know, because I was so excited in the very beginning. So I made dumb decisions. We had to scale back down and restart. But I will tell you what I didn't do is I didn't go back to dealing drugs or back to that lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And it paid off. I mean, it took, there was a couple hard years, I know, Rich, you said you only been there for a couple of years. You're going to have some hard times too coming, but you'll bounce back. They'll come and go. Just giving you the heads up, man. Cause I mean, you'll do really good and then it'll drop and then it'll come back. And then eventually once you hit, then you finally just level out. And I mean, that's kind of where I'm at this point, is just, we've been level out for a few years and it's time to get back and help people realize that they don't have to pay as much in taxes. And honestly, as business owners, the taxes is your easiest way to cut money. It's not firing people. It's not getting more techs or getting more work. It's literally getting your hands around Uncle Sam, because they're not going to tell you, oh, you're paying us too much, Rich. Sorry, Pat. You should have only paid us $5, Rich. You paid us $50. They're not going to tell you that. They're going to
no, they let you pay it. Oh, this is what you say you owe us? Sure. You give it to us. We'll take it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely one of the first places that I feel like people need to look. And, it's definitely something that needs to be talked about more, I think, especially with the blue collar trades. I mean, HVAC, commercial kitchen, everything, even some of the bigger business owners, you'd be surprised. I've got a couple of, they do very, very well. And when they first came to me, they were doing millions and millions of dollars and they didn't have a clue how much money they were just wasting. And since it's been able to be changed and wrapped up, they're doing even better. And their families are doing better, because really, as an owner, you take all the responsibility. You got to feed your employees regardless whether you eat or not. So they're the ones that were suffering the most, even though their business was doing great. And it made a difference, man. I mean, just those few changes we made, and a couple of guys that I can think of. I mean, it's amazing to see that their personal lifestyle has changed significantly because of those few changes that all started with taxes. We did some other things and structure some things differently, but it all started with getting a wrap around their numbers, taxes, and putting things in place to make it work.
Well, and let's be clear. And Rich, you personally have asked me this question, well, Hess, what's the recipe, man? How'd you do it? Look, I would not recommend what I went through to get 1, 2, 3 to where it was to anyone. I pumped 100 hours a week plus 7 days a week, 4:30 in the morning until 9:00 at night. And it was built from a fifth wheel camper in Ashland, Virginia. But I had nobody to report. I had no responsibilities. Kids were grown, didn't have a wife. I had an incredible woman that I met along the way who is now my wife, that I wouldn't be where I am today without her and a handful of others. Okay. But the sacrifice is unimaginable. And if you have a wife and you have kids, you can't do it. Something won't survive. So everyone wants the title. Everyone wants the money. Everybody wants the glamour until they find out what the hell it actually entails. And I'll never forget it. Kind of the moment where it really hit me was I was on a roof of a First Watch restaurant on Broad Street in Richmond, Virginia. 4th of July, 6:00 in the morning, because the walk-in was down. And I watched the sunrise on 4th of July. And I knew people were going out on the boat. People were going skiing. People were off. People were going to the beach, whatever they were doing. And here I was on this roof. And you know what? I wouldn't trade it for anything. Short-term sacrifice for the long-term goal. But you can't, this isn't all in. You got to be all in. Mm-hmm. And you have to set goals, and those goals have to have a deadline.
It's just like everything else we do. You can have okay technicians, you can have great technicians. It's all about what you want and what you're willing to put into it. You can be a okay, a business owner, like you could be a one-man shop that just, you work just to pay your bills and that's it. You're never going to retire. You never have any money saved up. You're never going to do anything. If that's what you want, then so be it. I'm not knocking you for wanting that or doing that. That's just what you want. But, there's a lot of guys out there that truly won't be successful and they're going to work their fingers to the bone.
But while you're doing that,
mm-hmm.
make sure you're making money.
Oh yeah.
For real.
There's a reason and I can say this because I've come from both sides. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that millionaires are only 2% of today's population, and it ain't got nothing to do with opportunity. Because I can tell you that my opportunity was fucking dirt. So I don't want to hear that. You get the same opportunities as everybody else if you go out there and get them. But the reason that millionaires are 2% is because it's only 2% that's willing to put in the effort and the sacrifice and what it takes to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. You got to have a team of guys that want to come to work, want to do the job, want to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what it takes. But you also got to sacrifice, the life of what you want. I could have grown significantly faster and done things a lot quicker, but I had small kids. My kids are just now becoming grown, and I didn't want to. I chose to do, but I also can tell you this, even though with what I do, at least, I'm on the phone all the time still. The kids will tell you, even when I'm on Disneyland, I'm walking down, I'm on the phone, I'm on my emails. I'm like, shit, I got to go find some Wi-Fi real quick to send this email. I got to make sure somebody's doing something right. You're never off, but I definitely sacrificed some growth of the business intentionally when I scaled back down to be with the family more, to be with the kids more, to be around and to have that lifestyle. And then these last couple of years, as they gotten grown, I've gone and we've grown and we've gotten better and bigger. But I'm where I want to be. So once you find where you want to be, then that's where you got to stay. And it's going to take sacrifices. Like he said, something. You're either going to sacrifice your kid, your family, or you're going to sacrifice your time and everything else. You got to figure out one of the two. But once it gets there, it's worth it if it's in your heart and that's what you want. And you decide what you want and go with it. But also have people around and just make sure you're setting things up for the right path.
Yeah, so it sounds like you guys are saying, make sure you're connected with people that are on the same path as you, same journey as you, whether it's financially, business, spiritually. Connect with those people that have the same beliefs in you, want the same things in life, and they're going to help you get where you want to be. You can, what's that? Just hang around the 5 millionaires, you're going to become the 6th millionaire, whatever they say.
That's it.
Hang around what you want to become and learn from these people.
I promise you.
Good.
All less than 1% of the friends and close people that I have today were the same ones in 2020, 2019. Mm-hmm. Pre-2019, there might be 5 people still in my life. So where I'm going with that is, as you grow and as you develop and as you nurture yourself, you're going to want to surround yourself with like-minded people. Mm. You want to be around winners. You want to be around people that you can pick up a little nugget of information that they drop without even knowing it's something you needed to hear.
Yep. And the only thing that doesn't work with is I'll never be a commercial kitchen technician. I couldn't hang a picture straight. So y'all have a skill. Everybody listening, y'all have a skill that y'all have, just like I have a skill with numbers and negotiation mm-hmm. and putting things in place. That's not what he's talking about.
He's pretty too.
He's talking about
look like Pitbull.
I definitely didn't belong when he put me at 18, 19. Yeah.
I got a question for y'all real quick.
Yes, sir.
I've been learning a whole lot. But so I get asked quite a bit by people that are thinking they want to start their own company. And they're like, hey, Rich, I see what you've done. I see what you're doing. I'm thinking about starting my own thing. But also I've got an opportunity, to work for somebody and get a really high paying position. So I know what I tell them, but I want to know, coming from y'all, if somebody's choosing between opening their own thing or a high paying position somewhere else, what is your advice to them?
My advice starts with what they want.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I'm a serial entrepreneur, but it really starts with what it is you want out of life. Like right now, if you told me, hey, Darin, I'll give you X number of dollars, if the number's right, you can have Whitewood, you can have the other companies I have, and we'll go to trial. I'll get a W-2 today, but that's where I'm at today. And honestly, I'm lying. I still wouldn't do it. I can't even say that. I started to say that, but that's a lot. It sounds good, but to me, my heart, I just am not in working for someone else. And I'm also not very good. Rich, you said, we were talking, I guess, before the show came on, and, you were saying that we asked about the boss, and, somebody was talking about how things are going well at your job and so forth. And I think one of us said, you must be a good boss or something. I mean, you could be a great boss. You're not going to like me. And I could be a great technician. I don't work well. I am a free thinker. So it just depends. Is this person really an independent thinker that's an entrepreneur that's going to test everything? Because when you ask me, I'm going to ask you, why do I need to put it there? I can go this way and put it around that way, and it's quicker because we do it this way. But I think your way's stupid, Rich. I don't want to do it. I already did it my way, and my way was quicker and saved you 20 cents.
Dude,
That sounds like me.
It sounds like me.
I mean, that's the person. It's like, are you someone who's willing to take orders from other people for a high-paying salary and be okay with that, and do it their way? If you're saying no, then that's not going to last long term. So that's not even an option. If anything, take that job for a little while and stack your cash while you can and learn everything you can from the business side, and then have a goal, like he said, that has a date. I'm going to take this job for a year, and I'm going to save money, X number of dollars. I'm going to put it away. And on this day, I'm going to open my company. On this day, I'm going to open the bank account. And on this day, I'm going to tell them, here's my 2 weeks.
Is this person married?
I don't know them that well. And it's not just one particular person. I get a few people that ask me the same question.
If they're married, here's my suggestion. Whiteboard with a significant other, and you pro and con it. What are the pros? What are the cons to going to work for this company? What are the pros? What are the cons of me opening this business? But before you can have that conversation, anyone can have that conversation that's considering opening a business. They need to have a trusted counsel conversation to understand what owning a business looks like.
And I think another thing too, and I know we're running out of time, but I had a guy that owned the company, he's a billionaire, that owned a company that was one of our clients years and years ago, wanted to buy my business. My wife and I went to dinner with him and a bunch of other people, and he kind of joked me and said, well, we had $4.8 million in the bank at the end of the year. How much money, talking to my wife, how much money did Whitewood have? My wife said probably $4. And she said, well, why wouldn't you want him working for me? When I had $4 million and I'm going to give him this big check, why would you have him working for me? My wife said, because here's the deal. I don't want to say that, but here's the deal, sir. When I tell my husband I need $1,575 for the mortgage by Tuesday, he finds $1,575 on Monday. If he works for you, he's got to wait till every other Thursday. We can't live that way. And I have more faith in my husband than I do in you and waiting on you to pay him every other Friday or every other Thursday, whatever it was. And the guy literally held up his glass and cheersed us and said, well, I guess we're not going to make a deal. And I was like, well, I didn't say that. I didn't say we were going to sell the business. I just said that I'm not really interested in coming to work for you. If that's part of the deal, then we'll have to discuss that later. But the point of the story is, if they are married and they have somebody, like he said, a trusted counsel, you got to know who you are at your heart. So, I mean, are you going to go out there and grind and find it one way or another? Are you going to, be gone for 12, 13 hours? I travel a lot. You can ask Hess. He's always like, where are you at? I'm not traveling for fun. I'm seeing clients out there, and I'm making money still to this day and putting things in place for clients in California, Florida, New York. And that's time away from my family. But they also know when I'm gone, I'm coming back with a new client, or we launched a new venture for a client. It's usually why I go. They're starting a new business or opening a new business. I'm coming back with a new contract. Are you that type of person? Or are you going to say, damn, it's July 4th. I'm not traveling. I got my buddy coming over. My cousins are coming over. I'm going to have to stay here and drink beer and cook hamburgers. I'm not going to be able to make that, sir. No, let me tell you, a couple of my clients call me and tell me I need you here. I'm there tomorrow on my own dime. I'm there tomorrow because I know that it makes money when I meet with them and when I'm there. And if I take care of them, they're going to take care of me. So the question becomes, for anybody asking that question, is, are you willing to grind and do what it takes? If you think you are, ask a trusted counsel, like he said, specifically your wife or husband if you're married, and find out if you're really that person and tell them to be honest, because some people will lie to you. Just tell them to be truthful, which is why you got to have good people.
That's right.
And,
not everybody.
And if you have it, then by all means, Rich, I would tell them to take the W-2 job and shake their hand and go get it, because you're going to be that successful person and you're able to find it. But it's going to be a hard year, at least, if not 2 or 3, as you build it. So, I mean, that's the question they've got to dig deep in themselves with and ask other people. That's
a lot deeper than what I end up telling people, but that's good stuff.
What do you tell them? Let's hear it.
Well,
in a short version.
My thing is this, and I base this off of 2 years of trying to grind and grow my business. To me, if the thought of a W-2 job can, deter you from the idea of running your own business, just take the job, because the money's not going to be there when you start. The freedom's not going to be there. You got 2, 3, 5 years of no vacation, not doing nothing. Your phone never goes off. So if the idea of taking that W-2 job, and I'm like, and there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's, we need employees, whatever, not everybody's cut out for business, but I'm like, if the thought of that job can pull you away from wanting to start a business, then just take the job.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I do. And I mean, I think that we're basically saying the same thing. Just like you said, I went a little deeper and a little different mindset but it's at the end of the day, the box underneath the box is, if you're even thinking about that W-2 job, then you really don't probably have what it takes to do what it takes to do.
Yeah. They fear change and they don't want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And the magic happens outside of your comfort zone.
No. Yeah, it's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's a good one. I have some buddies in the industry, they own businesses, and they I get asked all the time, come work for me. And I'm like, I tell them all the time, like, dude, you don't want me to work for you. Like, I am the biggest pain in the butt, because I ask questions. Every time someone tells me to do something, I ask a question. And I'm just an inquisitive person. I want to know why they have me do this, because I want to know why. And a lot of times people can't handle that. They think that's me being just, insubordinate, or me questioning authority. Like, no, I genuinely need to know the answers of why we're doing this. I want to know and I want to understand. And I got a buddy of mine. I rode him from down to Sefesa and back. He lives up by me. We were in a car 10 hours one way, 10 hours back the other way. At the end of that, on the way home, next time we talk, someone's like, oh, you want Pat to come work for you? He's like, I'm not enough manager to deal with this dude. I was like, I don't want him. Gotta ask questions.
That's the culture show.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta ask questions, and then when you answer that question, I'm probably gonna have another question.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just to follow up with, well, okay, that makes sense. However, have you ever thought about doing it this way? I mean, I'm the same way. Pat, you might be more of a business owner than you think, brother. Just
probably. I've got it pretty made right now.
All right. Yeah. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. That's it.
I get to hang out with Hess at like conventions and stuff, and run around with him and Pat Duffy, and I get to have fun.
Check that is going to cash, because sometimes you don't have that when you're on your own. But yeah, no, it's a good thing.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know where life's going to take you. I've had a lot of discussions with friends and family and stuff, and you never know.
Well, you're never too old either, dude.
No.
I mean, I didn't light the candle till 44.
That's how old 45? I am. Don't say that. I mean, that's how old I am. So we'll see. I mean, I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy this industry. This industry's changed my life. Everybody, I started this podcast out of like a greed thing, because no one was just talking about what we talk about. And it's turned into like, I enjoy doing this. I enjoy hearing people's stories. I enjoy hearing your story, Mike. I enjoy hearing your story, Darin. And everyone has a story to tell. Some of you people that are on here may not be directly related to this industry, but you've got a story to tell that's changed people's lives. It's changed your life. It's changed others' lives. And, maybe somebody's struggling with addiction. Maybe someone's struggling with gambling. Maybe someone's struggling with this. And, hearing someone else's story may just give them that, hey, I can change. I can turn this around. I can do this. I mean, because I'm not going to lie to you, Hess, the first time I met you, I was like, this dude, there's no way this dude is what he is. I was like, this dude's full of crap. And then I hung out with you some more, and I was like, this dude's legit. Like, this dude, what he's saying is 100% the truth, man. And I'm glad I got a chance to hang out with you and really get to know you over the last couple of years. And I'm proud to say that, you're a friend of mine now, and that I'm proud of what you've done. And I look forward to seeing what you're doing in the future. If you do not know, this guy goes down. Where do you go with all those
Tupacente, Honduras. We've actually got some really big stuff. So I've brought Darin in on that little. We've got some really exciting stuff that we're going to be announcing probably here in the next couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, about what's going on down there. But, listen, we share our stories, Pat, because we don't need to hear them. We lived them.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody needs to hear it. And somebody needs to hear it from somebody that walked the walk.
100%.
No.
I don't want to keep you guys any longer because we can just keep talking. I want everybody to know where they can find you, Darin. If they got questions, I'm going to go ahead and in the episode description, I'll tag your website so people can reach out to you that way because you shine a light on a lot of cool stuff. Accountants are there just to fill in paperwork, but they can do more. They can be more than that. But some people, just like every other job, I have technicians that can fix stuff, and I have technicians that care to go above and beyond and take care of the customer. And it sounds like you're going above and beyond to take care of the customer.
Yeah, no, I am for sure. And a lot of people ask me one question. They always say, where are you a CPA? No, I'm an enrolled agent, which is in order to represent taxpayers, or you have to be CPA, attorney, or enrolled agent, which is registered. The Circular 230. So the Department of Treasury gives me a license. I got to renew it every 3 years. I got to go through it. So I have skin in the game, as they call it. I'm not just telling you what to do, putting things on paper. Yes, if I do something stupid and you end up owing taxes, technically you owe the taxes, but that my livelihood's on the line. So the things that I speak on and put my name on, I'm not just some social media influencer. Like my website, you're like, what do I got? I'm like, I don't know. I think it's but it's taxproblemsgone.com is the one. And then I think there's like quitoverpaying.com that we use. But Whitewood Tax Solutions is there. We've been around since 2011, so it's easy to find if they want to find us. Happy to talk to people anytime, shoot emails and figure it out. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on, and good luck to everybody that's listening, and good luck to you guys. Rich, good luck with your stuff. Feel free to reach out to me as well. Pat, you have our email, so let me know.
Yeah.
Hess, where can people find you? You're kind of
just
hanging out on vacation, a golf course.
Esplanada at Azario. Standing tea times Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday.
So he was supposed to do a show.
Tell me they want to meet Hess, and I can invoice them for those emails. So
I texted him one day. I was like, "Hey, you do the show this week?" He's like, "I'm in Miami. I'm gonna go to the Bahamas. I should be able to do it." I was like, "We're not doing the show this week, dude. You have fun at the Bahamas. Have fun at the Bahamas. I'm not going to do that to you."
Well, look, and we can do that another episode, because the other thing that you want to look at is a financial advisor to put that money that you're making to work for you to make more money.
Yeah. I started following some people on social media, and like their financial advisors, like they're young people though, and they don't hold shit back on people. Like they'll just tell people like, are you effing stupid? Like, you made this much money, you have nothing to show for it. What'd you do with it? He's like,
there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff with the financial advisor world, man. You got the stock market guys, you got the infinite banking, I think is what it's called, guys with the whole life insurance, borrowing against it. Like, it's intriguing. So that would be another thing that people could talk about, because there's a lot to do. But Hess has a nice little financial advisor. I guess he's more on the stock market side, right? He does everything, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he got me a really nice life insurance policy for the kids. So, all right, guys, it was a blast.
I'm not going to keep you guys any longer. I'll tag you guys in the episode when I put everything out. I appreciate you guys coming on. This totally went a different way than I was expecting. I was like, man, it's maybe a little boring. And actually, I learned a ton. Like, it's cool to see that there's people out there that are willing to actually work for the customer. I do it in my job. Rich does it in his job. Hess done it in his job working for the customers over the years. But you see white collar guys or tax guys, and you never think of it that way. And Darin, you're out there making it look sexy, bud. Taking care of people.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to bring sexy back, like they say, right? I'm trying.
All
Just
right,
do the
guys.
right thing by people, man, and it always pays off. That's how I feel.
Do the right thing. That's what it always comes back to. Ain't that right, Rich? Do the right thing.
Exactly.
That's it.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you.
See ya. If you guys would, please consider subscribing, rating, and reviewing the podcast. It really helps us grow and helps us know which direction to move in. Also, if you have any suggestions for guests, please email me at commercialkitchenchronicles@gmail.com. Or if you want to be a guest, email me. Love to have you guys on. Thanks a lot. See you next week.